You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
A bit of housekeeping from the off. Apologies to anyone who had trouble watching our last episode, the Ravens review. By the time you're watching this, it should be back up. Sometimes, the tools don't work, and don't blame the workers. For once, it actually was the tools. So hopefully you can watch that episode. You can watch the dancing. For anyone who's seen it so far, we hope you enjoyed it. We apologize for that. Outside of that, I don't know about you. I spoke to 5-Yard Lee this morning, and he was still hyped after the Ravens game. I'm still hyped after the Ravens game. There's obviously going to be some people out there who are still trying to discredit a quarterback who threw for 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 449 yards. But you can't please everyone. Some people are always going to move the goalposts, talking about, who's throwing to open players. What do you want him to do? Throw to the guarded players? Because when he does that, you turn around and say, why are you throwing to the open players? So it is what it is. As they say, it's all fun and games. But, Mr. Touche, how are you?
Man, LB just sent me a trade on fantasy football. I'm trying to see what I want to do with this thing. It's getting really real right now. Like, it's crazy how you can be at work and then it's like, hold on, dun-dun-dun. It changes everything. I know everybody out there know that feeling. Like, the best feeling in the world, or the second best feeling in the world, is getting a trade proposal. The first feeling in the world is seeing trade accepted. Straight up. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. Kadeem Simmons. You see how I came back to that?
I did.
I like it.
Very quickly, so in the people that did see the last episode and saw me dancing, what that dance was, I have no idea. But you would not think that as a teenager, I danced in shows. Like, again, kind of like a You Got Served vibe. I had, like, me and my boys, there were 6 of us. We played basketball together. Some of us played chess together. We don't just play chess, by the way. One thing we definitely need to do. But
that needs to happen. It has to happen.
But I used to dance. In my teenage years, I was a dancer as well. Kind of like a triple threat. I played sports, I was quite a nerd, and I danced. So Mr. Charlie Touche, next time you have a video out, give me a shout. I can come down, drop some moves.
Bro, you're not dancing in my videos, bro.
Why not?
You're not dancing in my videos, Holmes.
Listen, I'm telling you now, yeah.
Bro, why did you pop? Why did you do that on the last video? On the that was definitely not what you was doing in your other video, bro.
As I explained, it's kind of like that Beyonce Crazy in Love. They're kind of like they're giving some of that and hip thrusting. It's again in that mood. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hyped. I'm going along for the ride. Allow me in it,
bro. For everyone, well, I guess we had an issue with the last episode, but shout out to Mike Gesicki. If you haven't seen Mike Gesicki's his latest media availability, you have to go see it. Don't do it right now while you're listening to the podcast. Wait till this podcast, this episode is over. Then go watch Mike Gesicki media availability. I think it's like 10 minutes long, 14 minutes long. It's a podcast in itself. Mike Gesicki cannot be traded, bro. He cannot go anywhere. We need Mike Gesicki on this team, bro. He is, I don't want to say a lifeline, bro, but he is critical to the fabric of the 2022 Miami Dolphins. I don't know how Mike McDaniel's going to do it, but apparently he went up to Mike Gesicki and said, hey, the first third down we come up to, is yours. Bro, I need you to do that every week. Figure it out, Mike. Mike and Mike show. Y'all got to figure it out. What was it look for?
I said that. I literally said exactly what you said in the last episode.
I didn't say you didn't say it, bro. Like, how you know? Like, we ain't got some new people who didn't hear the last episode. Like, why you gotta like rain on my parade, bro? I'm just trying to inform the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's our job to inform. I'm just saying, like, you act like we never repeated something on the podcast. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, Mike Gesicki has to be a part of this Miami Dolphins football team. He has the best hands on the team. I don't know who it was. Shout out to whoever it was in the comments. We were going back and forth, and someone said Mike Gesicki doesn't have the best hands on the team. I'd like to know who you think has the best hands on the team now. After Tyreek Hill dropped 2 passes, Jalen Waddle dropped 2 passes, and Mike Gesicki climbed the ladder for what basically was the let's get this thing going catch. So, yeah, man, Mike Gesicki, and even going back to what he was saying, dude is just an outstanding human. You know what I'm saying? Like, they asked him, how do you feel about the lesser role you got? He like, bro, Tyreek Hill is a world-class wide receiver. Jalen Waddle, he said we got 2 world-class wide receivers on this team. How you expect me to feel? Like, my team winning right now. He didn't say that my team's winning right now, but he paraphrased like, yo, why would I not be happy that we have 2 of the best receivers in the league right now? You know what I'm saying? So they follow that question up with, well, what about, like, are you happy that you're taking less? I don't know any football players that are happy to take a back seat. He said, listen, man, we play a child's game, and this is my career that I chose, and it's a game. It's a kid's game, and we play it for a living, and we get paid a lot of money to do it. I'm always happy playing football. That's what Mike Gesicki's saying, bro. This man, and it's not like the media mode, Mike. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't blowing smoke like, oh, he answering the questions the right way. You can tell, man, dude is a dude, bro, and I need to have Mike Gesicki on my team.
I know a couple of weeks ago when we had 5 Yard Lee and DraftKings Jason on the show, and we was talking about, and 5 Yard Lee made an excellent point about how none of these tight ends are Mike McDaniel tight ends. And do not be surprised if the start of next season, outside of Tanner Connor, it's a whole new tight end room. And I know some of us kind of got to a point where we were kind of saying, and especially after that preseason game where Mike Gesicki played way longer than anyone else and still couldn't really find the ball. And we kind of saying, do we kind of trade him now for offensive line pieces and kind of like maybe it's the best bet? Now you're saying keep him for this season because he's too indispensable to this team. I know we've got to get through this season before we start thinking about next season. But do you still try and find a way to keep him next season? And it's one of those things where when you have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, and Mike Gesicki as an offensive coordinator, and when you're drawing up plays, you need to find a way to get Mike Gesicki the ball outside of third downs.
Couple things. I said what you were saying about we got to move on from him, replace him with a lineman, okay, all the good stuff. And then what you said about what 5 Yard Lee said, I said that as well. But at the same time, bro, it's like you don't want to see these players go, but you want to see your team perform. And now, today, sitting in this chair, I'm not ready to move on from Mike. I'm at the point where if we're going to use him as a receiver, then he's the 4th receiver on the roster. Meaning you have Hill, Waddle, Cedric Wilson, Mike Gesicki. And when people gonna say, well, why would Mike Gesicki be the 4th receiver? Like, because he's not Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson is a bona fide slot receiver. Mike Gesicki is a modified slot receiver. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So he's a pass catcher for sure, but he doesn't fit the mold of a starting slot receiver either. So he's not even what Kenny Golladay was when Matt Stafford had Kenny Golladay going off, right? So Mike Gesicki is a tight end. There's just different types of tight ends. And I remember me and Sherrod Steve went back and forth, and it was like, we didn't go back and forth, but we had our tight ends list and who's the top 5 and who's the top whatever. I still got Mike Gesicki fourth on my list of tight ends behind Waller, Kittle, and Kelsey. Pitts is not better than Gesicki. Andrews is not better than Gesicki. They're different. Andrews is different. Andrews brings something different to the table, something that Mike can't bring to the table or doesn't bring to the table. And Mike Gesicki definitely brings things to the table that Andrews could never. Andrews could never climb the ladder like Mike Gesicki did, bro. You would never see Andrews go up like that. You'll never see Andrews come down with these one-handed catches that Mike has done so many times. You know what I'm saying? So he's an athletic tight end. He's an athletic receiver. And we need to find out how we could use them, how we could keep them. But business is business. If that number gets too high, I wonder what we do. And now all of a sudden you think, well, maybe that's why we have 5 receivers instead of 6 active, right? So it's like,
yeah, it really is an odd one. I think as you're 2-0, as the season's going, and I think we kind of alluded to this in the preseason. If the Dolphins are winning, there is zero chance to trade away Mike Gesicki because you're winning. If worst case scenario, the Dolphins are out of playoff contention by the trade deadline, I'd be in favor, I'd be okay to say, you know what, Mike, again, your value to us right now is either, say, a second round pick or an offensive lineman to build for next season because this season's done. But if you're still, again, if you have a chance to do whatever, be it win the division or make the playoffs by trade deadline, Mike Gesicki's going nowhere because, again, 3rd down, 3rd and 13, it doesn't matter what it is, he's going to give you a chance to go up, make a play, score a touchdown, and do the worst gritty I have ever seen in my whole entire life.
Hey, yo dancing is as bad as his gritty. Let's get an understanding.
Don't do that. Like,
yes,
you haven't seen me dance when the lights are on and the whole crowd going screaming. I'm telling you now, yeah, I had crowds screaming while I was dancing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, screaming in fear.
Nah, dude. We were the main event of shows. The main event. I'm just saying.
What type of shows are we talking about, bro? Is this like the shows for your parents, with your brother and your sisters? Is that what kind of shows we talking about?
I'm talking halls across the country where people from all over. You know what? Listen, we said we're gonna have a segment called Ask Simone, where we ask my 14-year-old sister stuff. Like, do you know what a VHS tape is? Do you know what a floppy disk is? Yeah. Ask Jordan what the shows were like. That's the only thing I can say. That is the only thing I can say. So, same way, like Ask Simone, we're gonna have Ask Jordan.
Hey, what's up? Where's Simone at now? Is it too late? She out of there? She clocked out?
She's probably in bed on her phone, but she's got school tomorrow morning. So, for those who don't know, I'm in London. It's currently 11:20. She's sleeping, but I can record a video. I can pass it to our social media person. They can put it on,
Nah, it's not the same, bro. We gotta have the live act Simone. Like, hey Simone, you know what VHS is? And you know what a cassette tape? Oh, bro, I'm gonna start getting them lined up.
She would have no idea what a cassette tape is. No idea.
Oh, we can't. I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait.
As always, midweek episode, kind of we're in that, still reviewing the previous game, but kind of moving on to the next game and stuff like that. You touched upon it in the review episode, which if you haven't seen yet, we apologize for that once again. It's great to know that this Dolphins team can win shootouts by scoring 42 points. That's brilliant. But what's not great is how many points we're giving up on defense. And it's one thing to hold Mac Jones to 7 points when we probably should have shut him out. It's kind of another thing to give up 38 points to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. This Buffalo Bills team have this ability to just not punt throughout entire games. And while I love seeing Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Tua go off all those yards, it's not going to work every single week. And if there's one team I personally don't want to get into a shootout with, it's the Buffalo Bills. So, before we delve into that game, what do you think's happening with this defense? Because to me, it's not just as simple as we're missing Byron Jones. To me, it's deeper than that.
I don't know. I don't know yet, but I think that's a real conversation that needs to be had. I think you have to wonder what the Patriots are, and then you have to wonder what the Ravens are, and then we're somewhere in the middle with our defense because our defense wet the bed, and our defense held the Patriots to 7 points. Should have been a shutout if Xavier Howard was following his assignment. You know what I'm saying? Or could have been a shutout if Xavier Howard was following his assignments. So I honestly don't know what our defense is yet. And then we got Buffalo. There's no telling what our defense is. If Buffalo comes out and smacks us around and puts up 40 on us and we lose by 20 points, I don't even know if you can use that as a litmus for our defense. Like, I don't know. So it's crazy how maybe the entire fan base could not wait. Oh, I can't wait for football season. Can't wait to see what we got. Can't wait to see what we look like. Could not wait. And then we got the Patriots. And almost everyone knew. We still didn't know what we had yet. Almost everyone knew I want to see us against a better team. I'd like to think everyone knew we were going to beat the Patriots. Maybe everyone didn't think we were going to beat the Patriots. So we could not wait to play the Ravens. We play the Ravens, and they take it to the house. Like, house call. Messes up everything. Like, all right. Doesn't mean we can't evaluate what we have, but at the same time, we're not doing ourselves no favors. All that being said, Kadeem, house call, interception is still 7-0, right? That has no bearing on the defense. Like, that has nothing to do with the defense letting 18 plays go down the field. You know what I'm saying? And ended up on the 1 yard line. They fumbled the ball. The very next play is a touchdown. That has nothing. The score is a score. The score is still 0-7. Then it was 7-7. You know what I'm saying? So it was 0-0 all over again. Defense still whiff. Now it's 14-7. There's only one pick. You know what I'm saying? Up to that point. So for somehow people get they short circuit. Oh, pick. Game's over. It's not the defense fault. Nah, bro. The defense was playing horrid, bro. Tua was not playing that bad. He was not. I can't even say he was playing bad. And I watched it again. I'm like, bro, we good. You know what I'm saying? The defense was not there. So they yeah, bro. They missed roll call. Here, no, you're not. They're absent. So I wonder what our defense looks like. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if we're gonna get that answer this Sunday.
It's funny. Like, we didn't bring it up in the review. And I'm in no way trying to excuse the defensive play because it was bad. The Ravens got some Patriots officiating where it's like, I don't know what you've paid these guys, but every single thing is falling for you. That does not excuse just some of the play in general. It kind of compounded the way the game was going. And I think, again, I now think there's a genuine discussion to be had about even the way the defense came on the second half of last season and the team in general. And it's funny, I do these hand movements, but I do them down here. So you might see my arms moving, but I need to start doing this. It's a habit thing. But there's a conversation to be had about just you did raise this last season and in the off season. Just how good just how good is this?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, it's just how good is this Miami defense? Because when they come up against a good to great QB, they wet the bed. When they come up against a trash QB, that's when they want to turn into superstars.
Or average QB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a situation where sometimes, especially against the Bills, and if anything, I will. Okay, you know what? I will excuse the Bills game because again, for whatever reason, last season those Bills games were horrid from both teams. Like up until the third quarter, the Dolphins are within the game, and in my opinion, the defense can turn around and say, "Offense, score some points. Don't get shut out and score more than 7 points." And maybe if you do that, we won't get gas in the fourth quarter. But there's too many games where this defense, for whatever reason, outside of Tua's rookie season, they just go missing when we actually really need them to do something. And again, we've seen them restrict the Patriots to 7 points, see them give up 38 points to the Ravens, and we needed Tua to put up 42. Against the Bills, we might not get that. The Bills, and I don't want to praise the Bills too much, but at the moment, the Bills aren't going to let the Dolphins back into the game. The Bills, once they get ahead, that's it. The game is done. I watched their game on Monday Night Football against the Titans, who are bad as well. But Josh Allen is on this ridiculous run where he's scoring a minimum of 3 touchdowns with his arm alone. So that's 21 points. Josh Allen is scoring 21 points without breaking a sweat. That's about even getting a run game involved. So I'm not trying to get into a shootout with the Buffalo Bills. We'll discuss it when we do the Bills preview. But this defense genuinely needs to wake up. And like I said, it's not just as simple as, we're missing Byron Jones. Because even when Byron Jones was playing last year, it was kind of trash.
Yeah, bro. There is something where I'm like, I don't know if this O-line is as good as everyone thinks it is. And I don't think the defense is as good as everyone thinks it is. The O-line is definitely better, but it's not, we got an O-line. You know what I'm saying? And the defense is to be determined. And I'm just going to be real with you.
Have you seen some of the PFF grades for our offensive line?
No.
So as a whole, I think the offensive line, again, playing so much better than last year. I don't think anyone can dispute that. But I know for a fact that at through 2 games, and maybe definitely last game, Liam Eichenberg had like a pass grade of like 22. And unless I'm missing something, I don't think he's been that bad. Like, I don't think at any point I've looked at anyone on this offensive line, I've gone, they've turned into Jesse Davis. Am I missing something? Do you think it's been that bad? Or for whatever reason,
you just said pass grade. So I've seen him do some good stuff in the run game. I don't know what he's been doing. We don't have enough. It's not a large enough sample size to anything PFF got right now. I'm not interested in, because if you want the truth, PFF is probably going to say Tua is the best quarterback in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that right now because that's invalid, right? So I want to wait till we get enough sample size to actually take a real, to really determine the true numbers. But what I do know is we're going to get there. And Buffalo, this is for everyone who may have missed it. My season predictions were 14-3. I think the Dolphins are going 14-3. That was my season prediction. Came out a little low at maybe 2 months ago before the season started. I was a little more conservative before the season started. I'm like, all right, we're warming up. I like it. We survived camp. No real injuries. Let's go 14-3. Kadeem has us going 12-5. All right. What you didn't catch was the fact that I said there's a chance the Dolphins can go 14-3, lose to the Bills twice, and still not get and still have to play in a wild card game. So we lose to the Bills twice, and you're a 14-3 team in a wild card game. All right. What happens is, I still think there's a chance the Dolphins lose to the Bills 3 times in one season. Yo, I'm like, no, I don't want that. That's not something I'm interested in. But if I'm looking at it rationally, I see what the Bills are. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, no, we can beat the Bills. We've always played them tight. We always played them tough. We always played them to the third quarter, and then we blow it at the end. So we can keep up with the Bills. But the reason I say that is because if we're 14-3, I know you would think, well, if we're 14-3, we're winning the division. Not necessarily, because I think Buffalo could go 15-2. And the reason I bring that up is because we got their schedule. And I think this is the toughest part of Buffalo's schedule of the year. At Miami, at Baltimore, home against Pittsburgh, at KC, home against Green Bay. That's the next 5 games for Buffalo. And I think that's where we can hope they get caught up. They stumble. They may lose a couple games in there, hopefully. But after that, they have at the Jets, home against Minnesota, home against Cleveland, at Detroit, at New England, home against the Jets, home against Miami, at Chicago, at Cincinnati. If you heard a loss in there for Buffalo other than home against Miami, which is going to be a cold game, hats off to you, because I'm not sure they lose in the last 7 games of the season. So this stretch that Buffalo has with Miami, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, KC, and Green Bay is where we would like to think, or we would like to hope that they get tripped up at. Man, listen, there would be nothing more. There would be to defeat Buffalo in Miami, catch them sleeping. I don't know that they're sleeping right now, but catch them off guard in the Miami heat. You know what I'm saying? The Florida weather. Maybe we could even, I was about to say maybe the rain will play into our favor because it might be raining. So, but I don't know. I don't know if the rain really does play into our favor right now. I'm not sure about it. I'll have to think about it if we want rain or not for that game. But there's no telling. You know what I'm saying? So actually, I would prefer it just be super hot. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? There's no telling what kind of weather we get in the Sunshine State. It's either super hot or it's raining and it's super hot. It's just wild like that.
For those watching on YouTube, you just saw, as Charlie was talking, the season prediction graphics. Shout out to our graphics guy, George, doing amazing work across all platforms. Yeah, Buffalo, and it's weird. I'm not scared of Buffalo, but I respect Buffalo. And it's one of those things where, same way we had how many years of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, you kind of just got to begrudgingly go, do you know what? They're doing their thing. Right now, Buffalo are doing their thing. It's unfortunate. But if anything, hopefully this Dolphins team can kind of show that they have something, or they're not scared of anyone. It's and again, we'll delve deeper into where we can win the game against Buffalo further, in things like Friday and stuff. But to kind of tie it back to the Dolphins and the offensive line grade, because obviously you're going up against Von Miller, and the rest of that, front seven and stuff like that. And again, it's only 2 games. Take it with a pinch of salt. It is what it is. PFF have the Dolphins tackles graded at, for Teron Armstead, 6th, which Teron Armstead has shown why the Dolphins brought him in. They have Greg Little at the other tackle because Austin Jackson got injured quite early on. They have him at 63rd, which has a bit is what it is. You take it and leave it. The Dolphins guards, they have, I quickly had it up quickly, apologies. Friend of the podcast, Robert. Sorry, they got center Connor Williams. Even for all of his bad snaps, they have him ninth ranked throughout the entire league. So again, take this with a pinch of salt, but I'd rather have him ninth than 59th and stuff like that. And then when it comes to the guards, and again, I just found it quite interesting. They have a friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, at 17th. So that's 3 offensive linemen inside the top 20. I can't remember the last time the Dolphins had that, and it's a far cry from what we had last year. They have Liam Eichenberg at 67th. His pass blocking apparently is 18.6. And again, in the 2 games I've seen so far, when Tua has had pressure, I haven't been gone, Liam Eichenberg, you're a turnstile. There was like 3 plays against the Ravens where Alec Ingold just completely missed his assignment in terms of Justin Houston. And it's like, dude, that needs to stop happening. At no point have I thought Liam Eichenberg has been an absolute turnstile, a Jesse Davis at right tackle. And even from watching games back, I'm like, I'm not seeing it where Liam Eichenberg is by far the worst person on his offensive line. Have you seen that? Or like you said, it's 2 games, we need a bigger sample size before we can truly, see how things are?
Yeah, I'm not interested. And none of the stats right now, no stats, because again, like Tua stats are inflated right now. Diggs, or not Diggs, but Waddle and Hill stats all over the place. I'm not interested in any stats, whether it comes to O-line or the quarterback. But again, I did see Eichenberg look good in the run game. So I haven't seen enough to where, oh yeah, this is pretty bad. But we've seen some pressure. We've seen some pressure in passing. We know the first game there's 3 injuries on the line and there was 3 backups in. Like this, it's too soon, way too soon. Bro, what do you make of Coach McDaniel? Like cool as a cucumber, bro. Like never flinched, always seemed unbothered, and was just almost like he's been there before.
When you have over 9,000 or how many thousand clips he has, I feel like he has been there before. He's probably got a clip and an idea of how to overcome adversity or how to make the best of a situation for virtually every single situation in the NFL. Prime example, and I think it's who the quarterback that was on the Pat McAfee show. Was
Matt
it Hasselbeck?
Hasselbeck.
Yeah. And he talks about that final drive, 2 minutes 20 left, Dolphin driving down the field. How many teams in that situation would have just gone, we need to score a touchdown, let's go all out, throw the ball, and then lose the game? At no point did it seem like the Dolphins did that, because you only need 3 points to tie the game and take it to overtime. As Jalen Waddle said about Tua in the huddle, it's either them or us. And I kind of feel like that came from the quote from Mike McDaniel in terms of, we don't need to force anything. We've got timeouts. We've got a 2-minute warning. I'm still doing it. We've got timeouts. We've got a 2-minute warning. Let's not force anything and lose the game. And I danced. You've seen it, the clip.
I didn't want to though. I didn't want to see it.
I apologize. Sometimes you have to see things that you don't really want to see. What
does that mean?
I was hyped. I was sharing it with you.
So sometimes you gotta see things you don't want to see. What is this?
Yeah, it's 2nd and 1. I'm sure everyone is thinking pass, because the Dolphins need to drive down the field and pick up chunk yards. And Mike McDaniel was like, I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to have a draw play. No one's going to expect it. Dolphins pick up 25 yards and go on to win the game. And I think it's a situation where you want the person at the top of the food chain, at the most senior position, to be cool, because then that's going to filter down. If he's erratic and, oh my days, I can't handle the situation, it's going to filter to Tua, and then it's going to filter to the wide receivers and the offensive line, and guys are going to be drawn offside and be further behind the chains. Like Hasselback said, they're in a situation where they only need a certain amount of yards to get into field goal range, and it's an even year. Our kicker's going to make it. Even when they get into the 20-yard line on the red zone, they're still calm because you're coming up, you're leaving with 3, and it's one of those for a rookie head coach in your first 2 games to go up against Super Bowl winning coaches in Bill Belichick and John Harbaugh, and to come out beating both of those guys, to be cool, calm, and collected. It shows the man he is and how nothing's too big for him. You had certain former Miami Dolphins beat writers talking about, well, I don't know about him until he faces adversity. And then he faces adversity and he goes, well, no, I mean, adversity you lose in 3 to 4 games. Why do that for? Again, why move the goalposts? To me, adversity is down however much at half, down 21 in the fourth quarter, and still sticking to your game plan. Still going, guys, we got this. So yeah, it stands us in good stead going forward. And that calm nature has clearly filtered to the rest of the team.
Matt Hasselbeck said it. He was like, this wasn't just good from Tua. He said it was great from Tua. But this wasn't just great from Tua. It was great from the coach too. And he was like, first time head coach, quarterback, learning the system still. This is you can't ask for anything better. And if we're being real, bro, look at Josh McDaniels in Vegas right now. Look at Nathaniel Hackett in Denver right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at these first time head coaches, like they still figuring it out on the job. You know what I'm saying?
McDaniels isn't even a first time head coach. He's a
yeah.
And again, it's everyone tried to clown the Dolphins. Oh, you've taken a Fulton's assistant.
Mhm.
What's really happening? Oh, we didn't even do Baywatch in the review episode.
But
it's genuinely unfortunate that Trey Lance has suffered that injury. But I'm in no way trying to say that Mike McDaniel was the mastermind behind the Shannon system. I'm not saying that. But Mike McDaniel is more than just a Fulton's assistant. And I don't know if you got it on you, but shout out to your boy Chris Greer. He so far after 2 games, he's got this one right. He saw of all the coaches that were available, he saw something in Mike McDaniel, and it's one of those things where the whole and again, beat writers or journalists, pundits, whatever you want to call them, turn around and say he doesn't have the demeanor to command the locker room, and people aren't going to respect him. Tua is now 8-1 against Super Bowl winning coaches. Mike McDaniel is 2-0 against Super Bowl winning coaches. He's 2-0 in his NFL career so far. Put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on his name. I like it. Hey, Oos. Hey, we rock with you here on Go Time Dolphins, man. Like, when you and Perform go through receipts, don't forget about us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we rock with you here on GTD, man. We about to get into bonus time, though, man. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time.
You want to see something? I know you said earlier you don't want to see certain things.
Bro, are you dancing again?
No, I'm not. No.
I gotta ask now.
That is a valid thing to ask. It's this again, probably laughing to talk about the Ravens game for now. This is next gen stats to his pass map against the Ravens. Again, for all those on audio, on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from, we apologize. This is a segment where we're talking about a graphic.
All right, so hold on. I can't see the graphic on my end, and I haven't seen anything pop up on my end. So hopefully it's just me not being able to see it and not everyone else being able to see it. But go ahead and walk us through the graphic.
So you still can't see it now, no?
Nah, I can't. So I don't know if it's my end or your end, but go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll try and talk through it. And again, apologies if the tools are letting us down at this vital moment. We're going to be like Mike McDaniel. We're going to stay cool, stay calm. Sometimes the play doesn't get through to the headset, but I know my boy Charlie. He's going to maneuver around the pocket. He's going to make things work. We're going to come out here with a dub. So this is a passing chart of every single throw that Tua had against the Ravens. And the first thing which stands out to me, obviously you can't see it right now, is how many intermediate passes have a green dot. So completed passes, but basically beyond 10 yards. It's one of those things where Tua in the past has been accused of, throwing screens behind the line of scrimmage or, quick 2-3 yard passes and stuff like that. Or getting it out wide where, it's one-on-one coverage, all that kind of stuff. But I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I can count 8 passes basically in the center of the field, which are completed, which you would normally think are somewhat contested. You have obviously the 1, 2, 3, 2 to 3 deep touchdowns, which again, great. We want to see that from our quarterback. But it's just the way the ball is spread across the field. Nothing is congested on one side of the field. It's all over the place. And again, that's just Mike McDaniel scheming guys open, but using the entire field, forcing defenses to respect the entire field and say, if you mess up for 1 second, we are going to punish you. Obviously, you can't see it, so I'll take it down now. We can talk about something else. But I just thought it would be something I'd bring up because I want to see more of that going forward with our QB1.
Now, again, hopefully it was just me that couldn't see it and not everyone else that couldn't see it. And if you guys couldn't see it, we'll get it worked out. We've been having troubles on the internet front, but nah, man, we all good, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And also, do you again? We'll discuss this further in the Bills preview. But overall, what did you make of the run game against the Ravens? And are we now starting to see the entire offense kind of start to adapt and get used to what Mike McDaniel wants to see in the run game?
Still too soon. It's too soon, but Raheem Mostert got to start, not Chase Edmonds this time. You wonder if it was premeditated. There was concern that Mostert might not have been back on time because of his injury, and before the beginning of the year, McDaniel said he was going to be slow with Mostert. He was going to work him in and ease him in. So you wonder if it's a 1A, 1B thing. Like, all right, Edmonds, you up first. You got the bag. Follow the money. Let's see what you got. Okay, we seen what Edmonds had. All right, Mostert, you up. Let's see what you got. Or who knows? Maybe someone had a better practice week. I'm anxious to see what happens with Raheem Mostert because I just traded for him in my fantasy league, and I think we might have some sauce. You know what I'm saying? So, but I need that from Mostert, and I think there's a chance. Like I said, it's too early. It's too soon. There's 15 games left, so there's a chance anything happens with the running backs. But it's still a new system. It's still only 2 games into the new system. It's not just the quarterback with the new system. The O-line has a new system too. So I think we're going to see. We still have time to see what happens, but we hope it develops during W's and not L's.
Yeah. Oh, and I promise you one final thing. You said last week that we won't ever see friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, try and return a kick or punt. And against the Ravens, he caught the ball and started running. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, no. Like, so do you mind speaking to friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, and say, listen, fair catch it. And What did you make of that? Because I did not expect it at all.
So it's not what I made about him trying to return it. It's what I made about McDaniel not putting Tyreek Hill back there. So here we go. We thought Mike McDaniel even said it. He didn't. Why would Mike McDaniel say it 3 weeks before the season starts? 2 weeks before the season starts? We're going to put the best players back there. I like the idea of having special teams improve field position. I seen Devin Hester change. I seen Devin Hester and the Chicago Bears special teams their way all the way up to the Super Bowl. That's what Mike McDaniel basically said. So I'm like, oh yeah, Hill and Waddle definitely going to be back there if McDaniel's talking like this. But then we got friend of the podcast, Javon Holly, just receiving punts again. So I'm like, in my head, I thought this probably means when it gets bad, we'll put Tyreek Hill out there. And it was bad. and then I'm like, well, if there's ever a time for a Tyreek Hill punt return, this would be it. And it wasn't it. So I have no idea what to make about anything right now. The defense, I don't know what we got yet. Who's going to be I don't want to say who's going to be the punt returner, but when we're going to see Tyreek Hill back there, I'm not sure yet. The running game, I'm not sure yet. The only thing I am sure about, we seen this thing twice already, and it's the victory visor. So that's all I need to know. That's all I need to care about, and I'm sure we're gonna work it out on our this joy on the journey.
Oopsie.